Hey everyone, guess who's back? It's Kamish back here with LOC Previews Week 9. Just going to share my screen here and we'll get right into it. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. So here we go, Week 9 here, obviously in the LOC. And the first game we're going to feature here is going to be Fighting Geese in the 12th man. Looking at it for both teams, obviously established owners, 1-2, I believe, in career wins. Brian's now tied with me at 60. Brian's been on a bit of a hot streak here. He's won 3 in a row, which I don't know how, to be honest. I'm sure the rest of the team is thinking how to. When you look 20th in points for, but the reason why he's got the 4 wins is first in points against. I mean, he hasn't had any tough competition this year. I mean, 1,488 points against, that's just absurd. Whereas you can see Susie's been more in the middle of the road. Susie did a bit of a moderated sell earlier in the year. When I look at the tail of the tape here in the matchup, I just don't think Brian has much of a chance, even with Susie giving Trevor Lawrence to start now that Winston's out for the year. Susie's got some good news on Brian's misfortunes with Miles Sanders going down. Boston Scott obviously is turning out to be more of an impact in terms of fantasy goes. And I think Susie actually still has a fairly decent roster when you look at the fact she has 3 capable tight ends, 4 capable wide receivers, where I just don't see the same on Brian's side. So I'm going to give the win to Susie on this one. Our next game we're looking at here, so we got Swahino and Fallen Misfits. Kamish obviously not here. I wish he was, because this technical stuff isn't the greatest thing for me. I can make the videos with the Zoom, and maybe not so much. Looking at it here, Swahino, what did I say? International division. They've done really well, and I'm sure an international division opponent would love to beat the Kamish. Kamish has always put down that international division, saying it's trash. It's the best division in the LOC. I don't know what he's talking about. Swahino 5th in points for. This guy's legit, 5 straight wins. He's dominating right now in that international division. You can see the points against, though he's also been pretty fortunate being in 5th. The Kamish, kind of like me, 18th place. He's had a tough schedule. I would say my recommendation for Kamish is probably going to be to sell, unless he thinks Billsy Bobs or Templars is going to get more than 3 wins. When I look at this matchup, again, I think Swahino is still going to have Chuba Hubbard running the rock fairly consistently. The question mark here is going to be James Robinson and his health. Whereas when I look at Fallen Misfits side, it sounds like he's trying to sell or wants to sell. I know I tried to make a deal with him, didn't work out. I am giving this one to Swahino just because I think he's in a better scenario than Fallen Misfits. Next one we're looking at here, it's Subotica Spartans and Green Lightning. So again, Subotica Spartans 5-3. I looked at his roster and I'm like, how the heck is this guy 5-3? Again, if you look at the points against, 4th in the league, he hasn't had that tough of a schedule. It's just translated to 3 straight wins for him. Whereas Lucas finished 2nd last year, strength of scheduling showing up. He is 15th in points against, so obviously he's had a much tougher schedule. When I look at this one, I just think there's way too many question marks on Subotica Spartans side still. I mean, Philip Lindsay, what's he doing? Is Jalen Hurts any good? Kamish said he was trash from the get-go. I honestly think he's very true when it comes to that. I know Lucas just acquired Keenan Allen off me. I'm sick of seeing Kittle on injured reserve, which was fine with me, and it's going to help Lucas here. I think for the rest of the year, whether he makes the playoffs, probably not, but he is going to be a consolation threat, I feel. And I think he's going to win this one and push Subotica Spartans a little bit closer into that consolation round. Next up, we got Age Crew and True North next on the docket here. True North desperate for a win. Let's face it, started off the season with 2 straight wins. He's lost 6 in a row now. Last place last year, 18th currently this year. It's been a rough couple of years for True North, an established champion in this LOC league, but hasn't been well the last couple of years. Age Crew, you can see middle of the road for him, 9th in points for, 9th in points against. He's had some injury concerns lately. I know he has Kareem Hunt, so of course I've watched the Browns. So he's been out. He's going to be out for a while, I feel. The other issue with Adrian this week is he has a lot of good players on the bye. I see Leonard Burnett's on the bye, Terry McLaurin's on the bye. He also lost Robert Tonyan to a season-ending injury. Great time for True North to get him. I know True North is obviously tactically improving his team. He got Carson Wentz from me, and he just acquired Hassan Reddick, which I think is going to give him the W here, give him that magic 3 wins. And I think True North is going to be a team to watch out for as a full seller. If he gets that 3rd win, I can't speak for him, but I can honestly see that happening. All right, the next game we have on the docket is one that probably nobody will really be paying attention to because it's going to be a joke. The Architect, Altimus Prime. I know Altimus Prime was communicating, hey, first year in the league, and I had a chance for the division, but I think he forgot how easy the schedule has been for him. And then now with the 2 straight losses, I think he's starting to realize that, hey, maybe my team isn't that great, but still getting 4 wins in your first year should be good enough to stay in the league, which obviously is what you want to try to accomplish. Obviously, Brandon made trades earlier in the year. He's first in points for. He's looking like points champ, American division champ, maybe shooting for regular season champ. Now, obviously, he's won 3 in a row. Schedule hasn't been that hard, 11th in points against. I don't think there's really much to say here. I think Brandon's going to win this one. Devontae Booker was a nice add when he needed him most. Brian Edwards with Henry Ruggs going to jail, obviously likely to get more targets. Easy win for Brandon. Next one here, Bare Naked Ladies and Storm, a critical moment for both of these teams. The reason being is Storm's got the 6 right on her back. I don't know how she won last week. And if you look at the Storm, easy schedule. Same with my brother Brian, 3rd in points against. It's been a joke of a schedule. She is 2nd in points for, though, so we got to give her that. Bare Naked Ladies, a little bit of a different story. 7th in points for, 8th in points against, so it's kind of been in the middle of the road in terms of scheduling. I think this one's really going to come down to how Mike White performs on, tonight, I guess, against the Indianapolis Colts. For whatever reason, I kind of see them losing that one, and that AFC South race getting tighter now that King Henry's gone. Indianapolis being the team to compete with them. Bare Naked Ladies could add some IDPs here later on to push him over the top to beat Storm. I think if he wants to make the playoffs, he has to do that. I think maybe he's like me and waiting to see how Mike White performs Thursday night. I'm giving it to Bare Naked Ladies because I think he wants to compete, and I think he will make those additions on the IDP side to push that projection over to where he's winning. I'm giving it to Bare Naked Ladies. Next game here, we got Always Shitty taking on Deuce Bombers. 2 teams obviously heading in different directions. Always Shitty, I give you all the credit in the world. You have put together a great team this year. I think I projected you to get 1 win. Clearly, I was way off on that one. You've won 2 in a row. You're 4th in points for. The thing that's been a disaster for you, obviously, this past week is Michael Thomas all of a sudden not being available, and that's going to hurt. Deuce, obviously, you sold your whole team when you got 5 wins. Smart move, in my opinion. You've lost 3 in a row, though. You're 2nd in points against. You could see how you got those 5 wins initially. It's because your schedule was a joke. I honestly think this one really doesn't need much to talk about. Always Shitty should be able to win this one easily. Next up, another team that obviously just had a fire sale recently, and that's myself against Milan and the 6 original owner, obviously trending in the right direction. Milan's won 5 in a row. Milan 8th in points for, 14th in points against. You can see myself, I was the top 3 team in terms of points for. Really just needed to add 2 more offensive players, and people just were not being very accommodative. So I said, fuck it, I'm selling. I've lost 3 in a row. I was hoping to at least get 1 win out of those 3 games that I played, and I would not have been a seller. Now that I have been a seller, there's not much to say here. Milan in the 6 wins easily. Next up, we got BC Lions and Canadian Guy, and boom, the tables have turned. Canadian Guy all of a sudden looks like might be a full seller to try to get those picks back. Question is he going to get the picks back at the same price? My theory is no, and it's a disaster for Norman Canadian Guy. His most successful season to date, 5-3. You can see why those 6th in points against the competition hasn't been that great. He's 14th in points for. I give the guy credit for trying to move in and go all in, but Mahomes has really let him down. And I mean, BC Lions took advantage of an opportunity, got 4 world-class players from me that are going to make the difference here. And BC Lions is going to win this one easily. And that red and white division could be his. Next up, the game of the week, and such a critical one here for the survival of two teams. Robert, original owner, has been here since the beginning, could be out. Or is it going to be Danny and Billsy Bobs, who I believe joined in our second or third year in existence? So he's been around a long time too, just has never been able to really put it together. I mean, there's not much to say on this one. It is truly the game of the week. Billsy Bob's 19th points for, Templar 17th points for. Templar, as you can see, has had a really difficult schedule, and it's not like Billsy Bob's is that an easy one either. We said at the beginning of the year, we thought he did have an easy one. I think a lot of this is going to come down to Dak Prescott's health. Is he ready to go? Templars may get some good news. Is Gallup coming back? That'll be interesting to see. But Billsy Bob's also kind of receives good news from the Tanyan injury, as Mercedes Lewis, you have to think, has to be the core tight end there now. The only issue, of course, is Jordan Love is starting this week, which obviously creates all sorts of problems. Will Dawson Knox return for Billsy Bob's? That's a big key loss there. I honestly think for both teams, I know Bob's has tried to survive and made some trades. I don't see Templars making any moves except awful ones to try to give Architect a championship. So I honestly would love to see both these teams just ride it out unless they feel they're going to try to get 3 wins and make someone else lose. But it would be nice to see them ride it out, see who falls, and at least the next owner coming up might have a chance. So Templars, please don't, give more ammunition to the Architect. Well, you can do whatever you want, but it's just my open criticism to you. I've been saying from the get-go, I hope Templars falls because of how bad and how tilted those trades were. So Billsy Bobs, I'm rooting for you on this one, and because I'm rooting for you, I'm going to pick Billsy Bobs to win this one. So that's your LOC previews, guys. Sorry it's late, but better late than never. And stay tuned for some Dynasty previews.